Hello, gentlemen, and welcome to the Mental Dojo with yours truly, Dennis Procopio. I'm a life coach for men. I own Man Up Life Coaching in San Diego, California. I work with dudes here in the United States and internationally, talking about guy stuff, guy problems, things that are on your mind, things that are on your heart. And today we're going to be talking about yet another grueling, uncomfortable, awkward bro topic. So join me inside. I promise it will not disappoint. See you there. Okay, guys, today we're going to talk about data. That's right, data, information. Earlier today, we had a fireside chat. We only had 4 people in that fireside chat, but it only takes 2 to make a thing go right. That's a weird thing to say in a group of men. But really and truly, honestly, we had a good meeting. It was myself, Faisal, Ron Bird, and Anoop. Ron Bird is my interesting guy who sort of came in through a weird door and said, I'm a 67-year-old gentleman. I'd like to generate a side hustle because I want a Porsche Boxster S and I want to have a house and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I want somebody to teach me how to be a coach. And I said, all right, I'll teach you how to be a coach. And he said, okay. And I said, it's going to start with you needing to learn how to use the internet. And that was an uphill climb, but man, we got there. The work this gentleman has done in his life on his own, and then just in the short time that I've known him, it's pretty cool. And so it's becoming interesting to watch and see how he interacts with some of the other guys. Now, Faisal is, you guys, if you're watching this, you're one of my, my brotherhood. I'm shamelessly putting Ron Bird's name out there because he's going to be a coach, and I'd love for people to check him out. I believe in the guy. My coach, Faisal, who's in Bahrain. I know I'm not saying it right. I'm not going to try. I've tried. I failed. I give up. Okay. Bahrain. That's the best I'm going to do. So maybe I didn't really give up, did I? I'm not a quitter. I'm a winner. Anyway, Faisal, who is in Bahrain, he's a younger guy. I'm 49. Ron is 67. Faisal is, I want to say 33. I could be wrong. He could be 30. He could be 40. He could be 100. It really doesn't matter. Faisal's an old soul. Love the guy. So he was there. He's what I would consider to be a coach in training, although I sometimes feel that, we think that we teach them, but really it is they who teach us, right? Which is actually, I could take a sidebar and say one of the principles that we work with here, one of our, I guess, sort of philosophical underpinnings, axioms, as it were, is that we teach what we would learn, and that everything that we output is an expression of what we're being in that moment. And what we're being in that moment is an expression of a choice to either be validating or be judging. And it's very typical for guys to be self-judging. We are not in an environment which promotes perpetual self-validation. We're in a different kind of environment. And arguably, the programs that we have engaged with have been such that we are now in the habit of being self-judging and also holding our brothers to a similar standard. Programming, right? So one of the things we do here at Man Up Life Coaching is we consider the data that is going, quote, into your head all the time. Now, that's not really the process. The actual process is you are choosing information to sort of upload. Well, download, technically. To sort of download. But it could be upload, because the reality is there's a relationship between what you're receiving and what you're asking for, right? You have to take responsibility for the fact that whatever data you're receiving is data that is in your world based on a choice that you're making somewhere in there, some arguably precognitive choice. But it's not precognitive. You've already cognized. You're done with that. This is recognitive. Everything you see is something that you recognize. You've already cognized it. Oh, I recognize that. I recognize that. You don't see anything you don't recognize. When you do, you're, hairy eyeball. The hell is that thing? You from around here? You know. Why? Why does newness scare us? Change. That's the issue. Change. And so data, we're constantly processing data. Why? We're trying to keep up. Why? Because that's how we're programmed. Why? It doesn't matter about why. It matters about what. What is going to happen if I continue on the path that I'm on? Well, you're going to burn out. You're going to overload. You can't run your CPU this hot for this long. You can't just keep processing data and doing the best you can to satisfy everyone around you at all times according to an ethos that you don't even completely understand, although you sort of cling to it. How do I know of what I speak? Because I'm witnessing day in and day out, talking to different guys in sessions, what's going on in the world of men. Guys are afraid, man. I'm going to tell you the truth. Guys are afraid. Guys are not feeling comfortable right now. Guys are feeling protective of their families. Guys are feeling like, what's going on in the world right now? I want things to calm down. Guys are doing their best man shit. But guys are getting stressed, and guys are burning out. Guys are getting tired. Guys are overeating. Guys are hanging out on the couch. Guys are processing a fuckload of data. Right? We're on our phones. We're on the internet. Even this information I'm giving you is more goddamn data. There's the irony of this. So why put it out there? Well, they say teach, don't preach. And they say teach by demonstration. All right. So what can I demonstrate in this video for you that will be of value to you? That's an interesting challenge, isn't it? Well, one of the things that we stress here at Man Up Life Coaching is that the majority of your day should be spent validating yourself. You are good. You are kind. You are gentle. You are patient. You are peaceful. You are humble. You are loving. You are blessed. These are the things that your inner child needs to hear. What kind of man up shit is that? I thought we were going to fucking talk about trucks. Right? Man, I'll roll coal on that pussy. He ain't no man up man. Yep. You're supposed to love your brother. So I love that guy. He's being a dickhead right now, but hopefully he'll come around. Everywhere in the world, you see somebody that is easy for you to judge. Man, as hard as it is, you got to send love in that person's direction. That can be challenging. You start getting into Christianity and Jesus saying that when your enemy strikes you, you should turn the other cheek. You see guys like Gandhi. You see these pacifists, and you say that's not manning up. Manning up is fucking beast mode. How do you like my fucking squanch? Yeah, that's what you say. And that's because you're thinking like a body. You're not a body. Sorry, you're not a body. Your buddy Jesus there was really into that idea, which is why he actually sacrificed his body as a way of saying, I can be with my Father in heaven while on earth, or I can leave the body, still be with my Father in heaven, and even then re-enter the body as a way of demonstrating the immaterial nature of matter itself and the importance and the priority of spirit and soul and God and mind. And there are so many words for it. And even that is funny that there are so many words for it. Because it's one thing. And that sounds like some hippie shit. Sounds like I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. I get it. I understand that. But I have to say what's true. Well, who decides that you deciding the truth and them are truth? Who took our jobs? Man, I'm a survivor. And it's important for me to be honest with myself before I open my mouth on this thing. Every bit of content I put out there, I'm on Facebook Live right now. I don't know who's who in this group. I mean, I think I know. But anything I create could get out there at any time. And I have to make sure that the stuff I'm putting out there is honest, like legit, like I can put my name on it, right? I've got a family. I don't want to, them to get, what the hell did Dennis talk about? But I'm saying that what seems like a pacifistic view is actually a power move. And it is precisely aggression itself that will fuel the very machine that you are fighting against. And I call it a machine because it's systematic. And when you learn that it's systematic, you also learn how to move around it. It takes discipline. It takes faith. And it takes love, which is why I try to remind myself to keep a good sense of humor. My sense of humor may hurt some feelings, but then again, if you're not okay with that, you know what this is. It's Man Up Life Coaching. It's not Kid Club's life coaching. If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. You don't belong here. I mean, you're welcome. But if your feelings are getting hurt because of something I'm saying, you've got bigger problems than me, man. Go meditate and validate. And that's the other thing. Meditation is one. You got to meditate. You got to meditate. What does that mean? You've got to meditate. I wish the word meditate. It's already blown. Really, the word meditate's already blown. It's been complicated. It's like a how do I do it thing. Really. And then there's this idea that because there are these super spas and things like that, there's this idea that there's elite meditation as opposed to just common meditation. No, bro. Meditation is get a piece of paper, get a pen, and start making dots on that page until the whole page is filled up, and don't make any images so that you will not be seduced into thinking symbolically. The whole idea is it's supposed to be a freaking mind eraser. Wax on, wax off. That's what you're supposed to be doing. That's what meditate means. It means go sit in the corner for like an hour, right? Why do you think the nuns made you do that? Because they were mean? Well, some of them were mean, but really they were just strict disciplinarians. Was that appropriate? You be the judge. I'm not judging. I came out okay. Priests never got me, so that was good. Sometimes I think, kids act a little, they push it too far, you dial them in a little bit, make sure that they appreciate where the line is. It's a very dad idea. And again, if you don't agree, that's cool. But I have a beautiful son and I'm a really good dad, so I think I know what I'm talking about. Data. Information. What information should you be putting in your eyes and your ears? Validation. You should be hearing things that are validating. I love you, bro. You're the best. You're so awesome. You're so cool. Man, every time you do something, you've got the Midas touch. You just can't do any wrong. Validation. People do a lot of things for validation. Right? Women whose fathers didn't love them, they do things we really like for validation because they're trying to get daddy's approval. All right? Guys, you put up with a lot of crap from women, whether they appreciate that you do or not. I know that you do. Why? For her validation, for her approval. You feel like you're always trying to get it. Some of you. Others of you are in healthy relationships. You validate them, you validate yourself. They validate you, they validate themselves. But even still, under duress, it gets harder and harder to validate, easier and easier to judge, because you're starting to come from a place of fear. And so you start consuming data. Think of all the data that you are consuming. Think about it. Is it contributing to a validating mindset? Right? Be careful about the data that you consume. A very strong suggestion is to practice a discipline, and for that discipline to be, think about it this way. For this minute, right? For the next 60 seconds, I will think only validating thoughts. Then for the next 60 seconds, what if you can do it for literally 5 straight minutes without distraction? That's impressive. And if you can do that and get like a really long volley, like a really, really insanely like pinball machine high score without getting distracted, then what you are learning is mental mastery. As you do that work, have faith and I'm saying this from experience, if I'm lying, I'm dying. And I ain't dying because I'm a winner. Have faith that your input has a direct causal relationship to worldly output. I'm telling you a real thing. This is good data. So if you've invested time into listening to this, your reward is you're getting the real truth right here, brother. More than 75% of each minute should be spent validating. If you do that, that means that over the course of a month, more than 75% of that month was spent validating, which means which means that 1/4 of that month was not. Man, that's still a lot of time. So you actually need to learn how to perpetually validate. How do you perpetually validate? It requires practice. I keep saying it. Practice. Practice. You will keep getting distracted. You know, you'll get distracted by boredom. You'll be so angry. All your little nasty, bitchy little habits are going to start coming out. All the shit you want to try to hide when you go to jail, right? You come in like a tough guy. You don't want to show them who you are around your mom or whatever. You know? So validate. Validate. You are good. Well, what kind of validation should I use? Just say anything that's not bad. You are good. You are awesome. You are cool. Doesn't even have to be true. You're wealthy. You're a great cook. I don't care if you can, cook or not. Just say it anyway. Maybe you'll eventually learn how to cook because you keep saying it. The point is, say it whether it's true or not. If it's not true, it'll become true. If it is true, it'll just reinforce that truth and make it stronger. That's what reinforcement is. You are good. This is the one I like. You are good. You are kind. You are gentle. You are patient. You are peaceful. You are loving. You are humble. You are blessed. Over and over and over and over and over, I'll say that. Just like when you're going through, a labor and delivery situation. She's he, who, and all that, doing all the breathing patterns. And in some situations, you're holding her hand and she's asking you to just say calming things, right? And sometimes it can be as simple as good, 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 because she just wants to tune into that calming rhythm. Good, good. Because she's going through something that hurts and is freaking her out of her gourd, some real physical stuff that's taken her into a real scary place, right? So if you were going through something that was taking you through a real scary place, it might be nice for you to tune into something like good, 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 right? So do that and you will go through a rebirth. I promise. Pay attention to your data. Anything that you perceive with your senses is data. Data is programming. Anything that you perceive with your senses is programming. What about your stuff, Dennis? Hell yes, this is programming. I'm one of the helpers. I'm one of the people who is trying to help you to reprogram in a positive way, even as I myself continue to reprogram. It's literally neuro-linguistic reprogramming, right? NLP, in this case, MLR. All right? Your brain will necessarily form new neural pathways and adapt to what you make it do. Just make it do some different stuff. If you're not used to validating, validate until it's finally like, all right, this is the new thing. This is the new soundtrack. And as that becomes the new soundtrack, people will respond to you differently. The world will respond to you differently. And you will realize what you are teaching. You are teaching validation through your input, which changes your vibration. Sorry if that sounds like hippie crap. It's just metaphysics, It's not like, anything real super fancy. Just like, you got your physics and your metaphysics, right? Anyway, I love you guys. I love you for being here, because sometimes I just got to talk to you guys about data. Today was one of those days. It's an uncomfortable topic. Why? Because we're bombarded with shit. And when we stop for a second and admit that when we're bombarded with shit, it can get uncomfortable. Today I was talking in a fireside chat with Ron Bird, the future coach, Faisal Amin Sheikh, the young freaking genius coach in training, and a guy named Anup in India. If you're there, you might know him. And Anup is in a situation with his parents. They want him to get married and live in the family way. And this isn't a secret. He's said this in a bunch of other chats. It's sort of common knowledge. He's like, yeah, my situation is my parents are breaking my balls to get married. And I'm just not really ready or interested in the women they're putting in front of me. And they're guilt tripping me, and it's getting to be a lot. And I feel like I got to draw a line, and I don't want to hurt the feelings, but they need to back up. And in the meantime, he's literally a data analyst. I mean, it doesn't get more perfect, right? Full square. So this gentleman, Ron Bird, at 67 years young, who's been through all sorts of addictions, who continues to strive to be a good father to his children and husband to his wife, and who got the Porsche Boxster S he was looking for. I'm pretty sure the house will follow. And my man, Faisal Amin Sheikh. These guys schooled my man. They really did. I was so proud. I sat there. Is pride the right word? No. I enjoyed it. But as somebody who was the reason these gentlemen met each other, I was a catalyst. I was a pawn in the chess game of the universe. It felt good to be in an environment where some of the dudes furthest along in this process were able to provide brotherly love and wisdom for a young man who really needed it. A data analyst who needs to tap a little deeper into his spiritual roots. Meditate, validate. Meditate, validate. Meditate, validate. Don't get caught up in the world's narrative. Input a better narrative than the one your eyes are showing you. Have faith in the process and watch the miracle as the world bends to your iron will. That's self-mastery, and that's how it works. And that, I think, is where I drop the mic. No, I'm not dropping this mic. I like this microphone. I'll drop your mic if you want to send it my way. Anyway, guys, it's really nice to talk to you. I got to go. Blessings, love, namaste, namago. I'll talk to you on the next one. And if you're somebody who's never seen me before, good luck figuring this one out, right? Anyway, love you. Bye. Well, guys, thanks for stopping by. It's time to shut down the mental dojo, throw the chains on the doors, lock the padlock, and get the hell out of here. But before I do that, would you do me a favor and hit like? I would appreciate that. And also, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, if you're feeling what I'm doing here, if you're smelling what I'm stepping in, go ahead and hit subscribe so that we can do this again, because the man cave just isn't the same when you're not here, man. And I mean that. Thanks for coming by. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.